Hi, this is Terri Thomas, and we're celebrating Women in Music this month.
But for those who don't know you, just introduce yourself to everyone, let them know what you do, who you are.
I'm Terri Thomas. I'm the Operations Manager and Program Director for Radio 1 Houston. That's 3 brands, Majic 102.1, 97.9 The Box, and Radio Now Houston.
So how did you get started in your career?
I got started at the age of 14. I love music. And I grew up in a house where you just couldn't watch TV. You know, those things weren't allowed. So for me, it was music, listening to the radio, and also reading books. And in my hometown, there was a small radio station. It was 10 watts. And I took a tour of the station. The general manager said that since I was so interested, if I could get my FCC license, he'd give me a shift. So he gave me a big book that was this thick, and it was very technical, and watts and ohms and all this technical stuff. But I studied really hard, and I got my 3rd class FCC license, and he made good on his promise, and I got a shift.
And then how did you get started here in Houston?
Well, getting to Houston is the evolution for me. So I went to college back in Boston, went to Emerson College, did college radio for 4 years, was the program director and all of that at the station, you know, worked really hard. And I was also on the air. And my first radio job was in Columbus, Georgia, then Tallahassee, Florida, then Cincinnati, Ohio, and then there was the job open at the Box. I love warm weather, so that was of interest. But even beyond that, 97.9 The Box is a legendary brand. And so the opportunity to put my hat in the ring to come to such a legendary radio station, it just blew my mind. So I put in for the job and I was able to get it. And then from there, I've grown and added the other stations, and there have been times where I've been deployed to other markets and done multiple markets at one time. But this is home.
So as a woman in the industry, how do you maintain in what people would see, you know, the music industry is kind of male dominated?
You have to have a thick skin, first and foremost. You have to be tough, you have to have a thick skin. Entertainment is very subjective in general, but especially for women, I see more women getting involved in the position that I hold, but for a long time there wasn't very many of us, and still not a huge plethora of women. I would say that Radio 1 probably has, has grown in that, so there's more women that are my counterparts in the company, and that's encouraging to see that. But first and foremost, you got to have a thick skin. Secondly, you have to know the job, and nobody can take away your skill sets from you. So the goal is to learn the job, to study the job, to always be a student of what it is that we do, so that you can compete with people via skill sets. You can say what you want about me as a woman in the position and what you think or shouldn't think about why I have it, but you can't battle me on my skill sets. I will take you down every time. And that's my mentality about that. And I had great mentors that taught me that early on. So I am evolving all the time with studying this business, studying the future of this business, and how to be the best in what it is that we do. And I think that really is what matters. You got to know the job. You can't rest on the fact, oh, I'm a girl, you know, and people are going to give you a pass. BS on that. You got to know it 5 times better than the guy sitting next to you. And that's what makes a difference.
So who are some of the mentors that you first looked up to?
Great question. My first mentor is a woman by the name of Fran Berger, who was the general manager at the college radio station back in Boston at Emerson at the time. She was amazing. She took an interest in my future, and also Dana Hall. Dana Hall was a senior when I was a freshman, and she was the program director of the shift that I ended up getting on. And she took a chance on me. I was a freshman, and halfway through the year, the person that I was working with as kind of his assistant or intern, he left and got an opportunity in commercial radio. And so Dana put me on the air, made everybody mad. Freshman on the air, you don't hear that, right? So, so Dana Hall and Fran Berger were instrumental in my college time. And then after that, my first program director is a wonderful guy. I call him the Triple OG. His name is Philip David March. And I went to Columbus, Georgia, and I worked with Philip. And the cool thing about Philip is that he mentored me my entire senior year of college. He had got his first program director job, and he was a graduate of Emerson. So he reached back to the college, and he said that he was interested in mentoring someone. He didn't really care who, in the sense of it, so a lot of us sent him stuff, and for whatever reason, he picked me. And he felt that I had potential, so he mentored me, and that was amazing. And when I graduated, I went to Georgia, and he gave me the opportunity to go through the interview process so that I would know what that would be like. even though at the moment there was no job. But then shortly, like a month or two after I left, there was a job, and I was able to get the job and move to Columbus. And then beyond that, Hurricane Dave, who is our operations manager and vice president based out of Atlanta. Philip gave me an amazing foundation in commercial radio. He made sure I learned a lot about everything a radio station does. And Hurricane gave me the freedom to grow into a programmer. And that says a lot about a person. This is a very insecure business where people don't want to teach other people because they're afraid that you might take their opportunity, and I don't believe in that. I don't think you can take anybody else's opportunity, but most people are very closed with offering information and guidance. Hurricane was absolutely not that way, and he allowed me, he co-signed me with other people in the industry, he co-signed me with my coworkers, and he really allowed me the freedom to blossom, and I deeply appreciate that. So having that foundation was incredible and a blessing to have people believe in you and to push you. I would say everybody they pushed me beyond the limit of what I think I can do. And they, it's the old adage, they're harder on me than somebody else. I never looked at it in that way, like, oh, why are you so, hard on me and you're not hard on this person? Because I knew that they were invested in my future and invested in my success. So I respected it, and it made me want to go harder, made me want to be better, and it also made me want to give back, because without individuals, and there's been others really that have been, but these are key people. Without them investing in me, giving me a moment, encouraging me, allowing me to see potential, allowing me to grow into my potential, then I wouldn't be where I am. So I feel a certain part of my philosophy is to give back, and share information to others. And that's my way to pay homage to those that paid that type of attention to me, because without them, it's like they gave you the keys to the candy store.
Right.
Information is power, and you have people that are giving you information. You have to seek it, you have to be responsible once you get it, but to have people open up their hearts and give me the information and allow me the opportunity was a blessing.
That's so dope.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yay.
Very cool.
So what do you think has been the most significant area towards getting to this leadership role that you're in today?
I think even at this stage in the game, and I've been in the business, and I don't want to name the years, but you can tell I've paid dues. I've been in here. I'm a seasoned veteran of this business. People are still, even at this level, they want to discount you for your success. And that's why I say you have to have a thick skin, because you can get caught up in that, caught up in the hype of that, and that's a distraction. So you can't allow yourself to be distracted by it. You just have to have confidence in knowing that you've done the work, you've acquired the skill sets, you're sowing the right seeds to be good. Because there's always somebody that wants to take that away from you. They want to say, oh, it's just because, or you got lucky, or you got this. And it's unfortunate because they wouldn't always do that to a guy.
Right.
A guy will say, oh yeah, you really got in there and you earned it. But for ladies, it can be the opposite. And they're like, oh, she's cute, that's how she got it. Or she's this and that's how she got it. Nah, fool. I worked my butt off. I worked my butt off to get it. Nobody handed me anything ever in life. I wasn't handed anything. And so I think that's it. But I don't really view obstacles. I have a weird philosophy about obstacles. I think there's an opportunity in every obstacle. So for me, I don't necessarily see obstacles. I'll say it's unfortunate that people feel that way, that you might have gotten for just some lucky reason instead of earned it. But with that, it always drove me, and I saw the opportunity in that. The opportunity is, well, let me show you then. It let me show you. Let me make sure my skill sets are above and beyond, and let me show you. So to me, look for the opportunity in the obstacle. It is always there, and that's what is the game changer for people when they're trying to be successful. It's to find the thing that nobody else is looking for.
Ooh, that's advice. I was gonna say, what's some good advice that you would like to give to young women, maybe that were following in your footsteps? But that's it, right?
You can find the opportunity in the obstacle. I promise you it is there. I promise you with every fiber of my being, it is there. You just have to identify it. And when things are coming up against you, you feel like things are against me, I'm in a situation that looks impossible, it's because there's some tool that's being placed in your toolbox if you walk it out. If you have a positive attitude about it, if you really sit back and say, okay, I can't see it, but I'm going to find it. What's the opportunity here? When you can go through the process and finally identify that opportunity, that's a tool that's getting put in your toolkit for your future success. Once you have acquired that tool, nobody can take it from you. And then what happens is you're going to be faced with an obstacle later. Obstacles don't stop coming. Iron sharpens iron. Obstacles are coming to us all of the time to bring out the best in us. And so the next time you're faced with an obstacle, you're going to have a tool that you can whip out. That obstacle isn't even a thought in your day anymore because you've acquired the tools necessary for you to push past it and get to the next level. Because the obstacle is only designed to make you better and to give you something you need for your future. That's why a lot of people get stuck. They run from it. Don't run.
You good? That's a perfect closing. You have reached that legendary status, especially here in radio, Houston and everything. So thank you so much for doing this interview, letting everybody get to know you more. We're so grateful for you here in Houston. So continue doing your thing. Keep on shining.
Thank you.